This video was brought to you by Gamersgate.com. Download games anytime, anywhere. Skip it up and that up. What's going on? How are you? This is Rich of ReviewTechUSA. By the way, we're starting. Hi, Jay.
Hi.
What's going on? We're doing
Rich.
This is episode 2 of our weekly butt sex. Actually, it's a little past a week since I've been under the weather for the past few days until today. I feel great today.
I'm glad you're feeling better.
I am, yeah.
What'd you do? You ate a salad.
I had the poops. Anyway,
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about a news topic. So, you guys knew I was going to talk about this today, and I'm sure Jay has a lot to say on it too. So, Valve reveals the Steam machines. I'll let Jay explain. Here you go, Jay. It's all. I passed you the baton.
Thank you. I'm actually prepared this time. So, as we all know, Steam boxes have been this rumor that had been floating around for God knows how long. It's just over and over. Where are these Steam boxes? And we saw this little glimpse at this little box, but that wasn't the Steam box. That was something else. And we were like, well, where is it? Well, finally, Valve had these 3 rumors. And there's still one more rumor that sort of, we don't know what it is. I think it's Half-Life 3 on Steam machines, but that's just my opinion. So Steam Machine is now what Steambox was. And what it exactly is, nobody really knows exactly what these things are. They're just these little boxes that sit in front of your television and allow you to basically run SteamOS. OS. I don't know why I called it OS.
Yeah.
And then play Steam Big Picture on your television.
It's basically going to be a computer with SteamOS on it that they're going to have like Dell make one, and maybe Alienware, which is a subsidiary of Dell, and I don't know, maybe HP or whatever. They're working with different vendors that they're going to make Steam boxes, which basically a Steam box, if you guys read the article, is just a fucking computer. You could upgrade the guts in it if you want to. If it comes with a 660 Ti, you want to put a 780 in there, go ahead. You want to, SLI it maybe, depending on which Steam box, you could do that too. You want to add a SSD hard drive, you could do that. So it's a computer that is going to have SteamOS on it that is going to be solely dedicated to gaming. That's really all it is. I'll let Jay explain how he feels about it, and then because I have more of a mixed feeling on it. Maybe you do too, Jay. How do you feel about this?
I'm not necessarily the huge gamer, especially not like you, but I guess it's good to have 2 opinions on this because you are a PC gamer. I think you would safely say that you probably play your PC games more than anything else.
Yes, which is strange because even about back in 2009, it was the complete opposite, but continue.
Exactly. So you're a PC gamer. I'm more of a console gamer, so it's good to have 2 sides here. And I have to actually say that I'm actually excited for these things. And the reason that I'm excited because if you go back a couple of years when we were trying to build a PC, for me personally, it was a bit of a challenge because I didn't know what to put into the PC. So coming from somebody who's like a complete noob at building PCs, this is the answer for somebody who wants to get on Steam, somebody that wants to be part of that community, and somebody that wants to play Half-Life 3 when it becomes exclusive to this Steam machine or exclusive to Steam itself. And I think that this is a very bold move from Valve because they could have concentrated on other things, just Steam on the PC, but I gotta ask you, do you think this is the way to kick in the door to get into the living room? To have this little machine that's a PC, and what happens if these things are $1,000?
There's 2 things that are good. I'm kind of scratching my head with. One, it could be that we don't know the pricing of it yet, and 2, they're trying to get into the same market that goes after consoles, but they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot. Here's how. They're having multiple vendors making if you read the article, they're going to, we're going to have different Steam boxes that meet different people's needs. So the general, even hardcore gamers, a lot of hardcore gamers, I would say almost 90% of them, don't give a shit about technology. Okay? Coming from a guy who used to work in electronic retail, there are people who are gamers who you had to explain to them how to hook up component cables. It's not that they're dumb, they just don't give a shit about the tech side of it. So you're going to have these guys go into Best Buy and they're going to see 4 or 5 different Steam boxes. They're going to be confused at the different features. Okay, this one has 8 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM. That one has 16. This one has a 2 terabyte hard drive. This one has 1. This one has a GTX 780. This one has a 660 Ti. And the people and the guys who the market they're trying to go after, not me, because I'm a nerd and know all that shit. The market that they're trying to go after is going to be like, I don't even know where the fuck to begin. Screw this. I'm getting a PS4. So to me, they're kind of what I thought Valve was going to do is they were going to make one box. Okay, they're going to either work with a Dell or something. Going to make one. Okay, if someone wants to upgrade the guts themselves, they can, but they're going to have one box. They're going to tell developers, okay, this standard and the hardware that we put in here is the hardware you have to make games work with for the next 5 years. So that way people know, okay, there's only one Steam box. There's no confusion. They could go to a store and buy it, bring it home, and it works. This is kind of they're not solving the problem that makes people stay away from PC gaming. You understand what I'm saying?
I totally understand that. I totally agree with you. If you look at if you just look at the Wii and the Wii U, they're losing system sales because people think it's just this like controller, and they're like, I don't want that controller. They don't even know it's another system. So to have people go in the store now who are going to see a PS4, Xbox One, and now this sitting there with all these different options, it's just going to come down to those people who are like, well, I could just buy a PS4 and everything's in the box. I plug it in, I'm done. I don't have to set up anything. I just put a game in and that's it. But the advantages of having a Steam box, if it works properly, I have to say, like, you know, Steam sales are the #1 thing that drives Steam. And to have that in your living room with potentially, I don't know, a Logitech controller or whatever it can plug into it and a headset, you know, if these things are top notch like they're saying they're going to be, I have to be honest here. Like, I might have to just play that. I mean, why would I go to an Xbox One? I know it has Xbox Live on it, and that's an amazing online system. But I'm playing primarily to play video games, and I want to get those as cheap as possible. And those companies on that site have not learned to lower the price after 6 months. This is something that Steam and Valve they know what to do with PC games. And if I can get the same game on my Steam machine for $14 opposed to like $30, then, you know, I'm going to save up the money and get this, because in the long run, I'm going to be saving money and the graphics is going to be there. And even if I want to upgrade, I can do that. But then again, on your side of things, it's going to be extremely difficult for anybody that just new to gaming to walk into the store and be like, I'm going to choose this box. Like, they won't know.
They
like,
won't have a damn clue.
They won't have any idea. It's just like when you go to buy a PC. Like, if you give somebody a spec to buy a PC to do a live show, if that person doesn't know anything and just walks into a store, 9 times out of 10 they're going to come home with the wrong stuff. It's just that's how it is. There's
even with consoles, yeah, they don't know what to get. People are not tech savvy. They don't give a shit. That's why people spend $60. Oh, when I remember, I used to, when I was a technician, and people would give me $60 just to turn on the machine, type in their information, and get rid of the bloatware. You know what I mean? Which takes minimal skill, but people don't want to deal with it. So if people don't want to deal with that, how the hell are you going to tell them there's 6 different Steam boxes here, all with different configurations? Choose one.
It's confusing as hell.
Yeah, I don't get why they just didn't pick one vendor, make one, make that be the Steam box. And like I mentioned before too, my other concern is they didn't mention here's the shortcoming to PC gaming. There's an extreme that's a lie out there that people say is, oh, you have to upgrade your hardware every year. My ass, you don't have to. There's people still maxing games out with 2 GTX 560 Ti's from.
No, that's true.
Yeah, from 2 years ago in SLI. Okay, you don't. But I would say like every 3 or 4 years you got to change your hardware. I was expecting Valve to say, "Hey, we're working with AAA third-party developers, and we have something that in contract saying you have to make sure the games work for 5 years with Steambox hardware." Now that you're not saying that, here's another thing that people are going to think about too. Okay, Sony's saying they're going to guarantee that the PS4 is their main platform for 10 years. If I buy a Steambox, it's only going to be 3 or 4 years. Where's the value? You know what I'm saying? Like, the people are going to think about that too. They seemed like this was like half baked in terms of they didn't iron out all the details, and they're trying to pinpoint at a market, but they didn't really pinpoint at it. They just kind of like, okay, we're just going to drop a bunch of shit and hopefully people buy it. You know, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, look at this. This is going to be a bold statement, and some people will be angry, but if PC gaming was so popular and so in demand, then we wouldn't be playing on a PS4 or an Xbox One. We would all have PCs and we'd all be loving it, and we'd all, have our own specs and all this. But guess what? It just doesn't work that way in reality. It just, nobody wants to go out there and build a PC unless that's something they enjoy doing.
True.
Upgrading it or seeing, what's a new graphic card, what's exciting about this. Unless you're excited about that, you just want to go get a console and play the video game. That's what gamers want. And this whole, console versus PC, if I was a hardcore PC player right now, this is kind of a Steam machine's a little offensive to me. It's like they're trying to get in the living room to take over the console market, but it is kind of a console, but it isn't. But there's 5 different models of it. And I don't know, I'm just confused as hell if I'm a Valve customer at the moment. Like, what is this? What the hell is this? Is it supposed to be like an Apple TV? Is it supposed to be something portable, like I can bring this to my friend's house? Is this supposed to be my main gaming rig? Like, what happens to the one I just spent, $2,000 on or $1,000 on? It's just all these questions.
They didn't think it. I'm very surprised. I mean, Valve...
and the other thing I wanted to bring up is Valve has never been a company that's really good at rolling out products. And this is just the softest launch for something that's going to be extremely important to them. I don't understand what they've chosen to do here. It doesn't make any sense to me that all I'm seeing is like a Steam page that has Steam machines on it. And then you can luckily maybe be part of the beta, 300 people. That's all we're seeing here. It's like, hey, we finally have these machines coming out in 2014. But the thing about that is we're not going to show you what they look like. We're not going to tell you what's in them. We're not going to really tell you exactly how it works. But yeah, they're coming. So get $1,000 already? I don't know. $500? I don't know. Like, it's confusing. Why would they launch this right now when in 1 or 2 months we're going to have PS4 and Xbox One? Makes no sense to me.
Yeah, they either should have talked about this and had everything solidified a year ago, or they should have waited till after the consoles launched, because this half-assed discussion they had and this half-assed reveal is not going to steer anybody away from buying a console. It's not going to steer people away from buying a PS4 and Xbox One.
See, the thing is, 90% of the people that are looking at this Steam page on the Valve website are looking on it on a PC already that can max out games that will probably last for 4 years. So who is this targeted at? Who's watching this? You know what I mean? It's like Nintendo fanboys are going to turn off their Wii U and just go on the Steam website and go, oh my God, a new kind of cool system I can get. No, they're not. They're playing their Wii U.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like the PS3 fanboys, PS4. You think they're going to put the controller down and go, oh, what's this thing? Another gaming console? Well, I just bought a PS4. Same as Xbox One. Who's going to... You're on Xbox Live. It's amazing. It's so simple. You turn it on. I don't get these major companies, just these huge rollouts are just failing. It's just, it's embarrassing.
They should have, like I said earlier in this, I guess we could call it a podcast, even if it's going on YouTube. They should have had one box. Okay, you want to make it upgradable, fine. It would have taken away confusion. It still would have been a PC, so you still could configure the guts. It would have appealed more to the masses because they knew one product to get. and it would have just it would have been much better for the consumer that they're trying to go after. This is they're already it's a redundant move the way they're doing it, because I'm the guy that almost seems like they're accidentally targeting, even though they're not trying to. They're trying to target the general consumer, but I'm already good. I have a gaming PC here. I don't need a Steam box. You know, I
No, no.
highly doubt that the Steam boxes are even going to have the specs my machine has. You know what I'm saying? Unless they want to make it ridiculously overpriced, which will make it an instant fail. I don't know. I definitely, I expected more. I mean, this still may be a raging success. Who knows? We'll have to see what happens. I mean, they're like the gaming version of Apple almost in ways. Like people will just,
Well, the only thing they got here is they've got good software. They know how to make video games.
Mhm.
They've got the SteamOS that's going to be on the system, and we don't know too much about it. We do know that you'll be able to like family sharing and streaming. Here's
Pretty
something
bad at.
funny. I want to point this out. If you click on the SteamOS, right,
Mm.
and you go through some of the specs, it says living room plus Steam. And I'll just read it. Finally, you don't have to give up your favorite games, your online friends, and your Steam features you love just to play on the big screen. Steam OS running on any living room machine will provide access to the best games and user-generated content available. Now, wait a second. You know, I'm so confused because you keep going down and it says in-home streaming, and you read it and you're like, okay, you can play all of your Windows and Mac games on your Steam machine, right? It says just turn on an existing computer and run Steam as you
Yeah.
have, and then turn on the Steam OS machine, and you can stream those games over your network to your TV.
Oh, I get what they're saying. So basically, what you do is you could have a less
Exactly. So
powerful
is it just
computer
me,
and
or is
stream
there
them
going
throughout the
to
house,
be
kind
a
of like what
Steam
the
machine
Nvidia
that's
Shield is
really,
doing.
really weak in terms of running games itself, but just there to run off of your PC that you have already?
Well, that if they do that, that would be an astronomical fail, because they want to talk about confusing people. People will think they're coming home with a dedicated gaming machine that will be able
See,
to
don't get me
game,
wrong
and
here.
they'll be
I'm
like,
excited
"Oh,
about
yeah, by the
everything
way, you
gaming
actually need a
related, but
powerful gaming PC to
it's
stream to
unfortunate that I
this."
have to be confused while trying to enjoy these things, because now I'm looking at in-home sharing, uh, family options, and it's talking about the stuff that, to me, why would I go and buy this little box that lets me stream to my television when I could just plug my PC that I have already into my television? Is it just the convenience of sitting in my living room and not moving my tower? Is that really what this is about? Or is this really a
No, no, it's not just about that. They're also trying to get people to have a small
Yeah,
PC
the
that
thing
will
is,
game in the
is
living
this
room.
actually a
Yeah, they
console?
want to take
Is
a
it?
chunk out of the console market. It's not a console. These are going to be
No, I
PCs
totally
or
get that,
small
but when do we draw the line
dedicated PCs
between
that are dedicated to
a
running
little
Steambox
box
and
that just
playing
plays
games.
video games with Steam on it, opposed to calling it, it's called a PC at the moment, but why is this not a console?
Don't know. They needed, the bottom line is they didn't refine their message enough, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, it's Valve. Valve has a very good name, and this could still be successful. I'm just interested to see. It'll be very, very
I'll tell you
interesting to
one
see
way
what happens in
they can kill
2014
the
when these
market
things are
here.
on shelves, and to
They
see
bring
how they
out
sell.
Left 4 Dead 3, Half-Life 3, and maybe another title I'm not thinking of that they own. They bring these things out and they make them basically exclusive to Steam. So no consoles, no Xbox, no Sony, only on PC and these Steam boxes. That's their one chance here, because if we go back in history and we look at Microsoft, Microsoft did it basically exists right now because of Halo. So if they can do that with Halo, these guys can do it with Half-Life 3. Um, So that's I don't see another way this can be successful. I just don't
Easily, yeah.
see it. I don't know what they're trying to do here, but I'm not seeing it, and that's really all I have to say about it.
Yeah, we may look back at this video a year from now like, man, we were
Totally.
so wrong. You know, we're admitting right now, you know, we're not the Dionne Warwicks of gaming.
I just don't
We're
see
not
it. I
gaming
just don't
psychics,
see
and
the
it's,
vision
they
here.
may pull something out of their ass that we didn't even see coming. But yeah, yeah, and a lot of other people have said the same thing. They don't say, and of course, someone that's messaged me on Facebook. But yeah, a lot of other people said the same thing too. So it's not just us. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I just wish they refined their message more. So anyway, guys, this is Rich of ReviewTechUSA, and I'm here with Jay from 3 Kilobytes. Also, too, if you want to know what's going on with me, say I'm gone for a couple days. Like I know I was gone for like 4 days. You know, I was under the weather and I had other stuff going on. Go and sign on to my ReviewTechUSA Facebook fan page. I update on there all the time, more than Twitter, more than anything else. Then it's in the comment section below. A link right to that ReviewTechUSA Facebook page. And that way it's much easier. I post my videos there. I post updates there. It's the best way to keep in contact with me and see what's going on.
Thanks for
All
listening
right,
again,
guys.
and
I'll let
thank you
Jay
to
say
Rich for
I'll let
having me
Jay
on, man.
sign himself out there. Jay?
I'll spice you up.
Yeah, no problem, man. It definitely spices things up and makes them extra tasty. So, let's not go there. All right, guys, we're signing out. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for supporting my channel. Have a good one.